If you are familiar with my channel, you know that I love to rescue old, cheap freight cars and turn them into smooth-running and realistic models. These projects are fun and easy, and they serve as wonderful skill builders, but they will never form a realistic fleet of freight cars for your railroad. The problem is this: these one-off projects will not allow you to assemble a fleet that looks as though it were owned by a single railroad. To achieve that look, you need strings of nearly identical cars, which almost always involves purchasing many of the same car models, and this can quickly get expensive. Adding to this problem is the issue of model quality. The most affordable rolling stock includes cast-on details, such as hand grabs, ladders, and brake details. Removing and replacing those cast-on details is time-consuming, but models with separately applied details can cost 2 or 3 times the less expensive models. Is there a way to build a fleet of freight cars without spending $30, $40, or even $50 per car? There is, and in this video series, I'll present several ways to do just that. Welcome back to my channel, and as always, thanks to my subscribers. As you might expect, this is a complex subject, so I'm going to simplify matters by focusing today on flat cars. If there is sufficient interest, I will produce more videos, each discussing a specific car type. But before I dive into flat cars, I want to discuss freight car trucks. This is an important topic for 2 reasons. First, good quality trucks lead to improved performance, and second, they add to the appearance of your fleet not just by looking more realistic, but also by unifying this aspect of your fleet. Railroads have to maintain, repair, and sometimes replace trucks and wheels, and this task is made simpler by using a standard truck design across the fleet. In addition, since the fleet routinely traveled across the same route, the trucks would accumulate dirt and grime fairly uniformly, so painting and weathering your trucks in a consistent manner will add to the overall impression of a coherent freight car fleet. In my opinion, AccuRail makes the best value HO scale side frames. They are available in 3 styles: Andrews, Bettendorf, and roller bearing, and each style costs the same, $110 for 100 pair, or just over $1 per car. See my video painting and weathering freight car trucks for details on how I paint my trucks. I prefer all metal wheel sets. They roll best and they add important weight to the car, but they are expensive. The Intermountain wheel sets I use cost just over $1 per axle. That comes to $9 per car. If your budget won't stand this expense, you can buy Delrin wheel sets from AccuRail for 20 cents per axle, or less than $1 per car. Intermountain makes both 33 and 36-inch wheel sets, and they cost the same. But AccuRail makes only 33-inch wheel sets, so they would not be suitable for cars rated at 100 tons and above, which require 36-inch wheels. KD makes wheel sets with metal wheels on plastic axles, and they are available in 33 and 36-inch diameter. The KD wheels are sintered metal, that is, they are die-cast at temperatures just below the metal melting point. This gives the surface of the wheel a slightly grainy appearance. KD sells their wheel sets in packs of 12 axles, and they cost a few cents more per axle than a 100 pack of Intermountain wheels. Whatever you decide, I recommend you select a side frame style and wheel set to suit your needs, then standardize on that. But you should feel free to use different side frames on freight cars which are obviously foreign, that is, from a different railroad. This means that the one-off freight car projects can use different side frames if expedient. Now on to the main topic of this video, flat cars. I'm going to present 4 different options, starting with least effort and proceeding in order to most effort. First up is this line of 52-foot ready-to-run flat cars from Evemodel. These flat cars are painted but undecorated, which means you'll apply your own decals to complete the model. They are available in 6 different colors and cost $16 each online. The cars include 33-inch metal wheels on metal axles, knuckle-style couplers, and they feature cast-on hand grabs and stirrup steps. The cars are packed quite securely, but despite that, one coupler was damaged on each of the 2 cars I bought. Also, the model comes with this frame on the deck, presumably to hold a freight container. However, the frame pops off easily to expose the deck detail. The brake wheel and staff look rather toy-like, so I elected to replace these with my own brake wheel and a length of 20 thousandths phosphor bronze wire. This improves the appearance considerably. The deck can be removed from the car body, exposing the weight and making it easier to distress and paint the deck, using the method described in my video, Rescuing Flat Cars. The resulting flat cars look quite nice, in spite of the cast-on hand grabs. I checked the wheels using my NMRA standards gauge, and found that the wheels are correctly gauged, and the flanges conform to the standard. The side frames are detailed to model roller-bearing trucks. Bottom line, if you're willing to accept the cast-on details, these cars offer an easy and affordable option. The metal wheel sets will save you about $9 per car, since you will not have to replace them, and the couplers are adequate. You should expect to eventually replace these with KD couplers as the originals break, but the replacement is a simple task. You'll just need a pair of KD number 148 couplers. For option 2, Tichy Train Group offers 2 easy-to-assemble flat car kits. The first is this 52-foot 6-inch flat car. This kit costs $12, and it might be the easiest kit you will find, that includes separately applied hand grabs and stirrup straps. The kit does not include any brake detail, but this is not visible when the car is on the rails. If you want to add brake detail, as I did, simply glue the brake components to squares of scrap styrene, as shown. The kit includes trucks, but does not include couplers. The wheel sets are Delrin plastic, so you might want to replace them with metal wheel sets. But if your budget is tight, use the supplied wheel sets and plan to replace them later. You'll need some KD number 5 couplers for these cars. Here is my car, assembled, primed, and painted. The second kit is this slightly more difficult 41-foot AAR flat car. This kit is unique among all the other cars I'm showing you in this video. It features straight sides and a fish belly center sill, where all the other cars feature fish belly sides. As a result, all of the brake detail is visible on this model, and Tichy has included parts to model the brake system in detail. However, the brakes included are KC brakes, which were banned from interchange service in 1953. So unless you're modeling an earlier era, or are modeling a small railroad, you might want to replace the supplied brake parts with AB brakes. Tichy sells AB brake sets for $3.50 per set. See my video building a flat car from a red caboose kit to see how I install AB brakes in place of KC brakes. This kit costs $10.50, and it includes numerous separately applied details: hand grabs in your choice of wire or molded plastic, stirrup steps, stake pockets, and so on. It also includes truck side frames and wheel sets cast in Delrin plastic. As with the other Tichy kit, you'll need to supply KD number 5 couplers. Here is my assembled and primed car. This kit will require more time and care to assemble, but it may be your only option if you are modeling a straight-sided flat car. Option 3 is this 41-foot flat car kit from Central Valley. This kit is a real bargain, $15 for a kit that builds 2 cars. Trucks and couplers are not included with this kit, so you'll spend a total of about $17 per car if you provide metal wheel sets and KD couplers. The kit includes separately applied stake pockets, stirrup steps, and wire hand grabs. The 2-piece underbody includes cast-on brake components and detail. This makes assembly easier than the 41-foot Tichy model. Since this is the only 41-foot flat car kit with fish belly sides still in production, this might be your only option, depending of course on your fleet requirements. So I'll show you how I assembled my kits. With a few notable exceptions, assembly is straightforward, and I just followed the directions. As with any styrene kit, be sure to remove the flash or burrs from the parts when you remove them from the sprue. I used a number 79 drill bit to drill the holes for the wire hand grabs. The hand grabs are 0.0125 inches in diameter, and the number 79 drill is 0.0145 inches. This gives a little extra clearance for any burrs on the end of the hand grabs. Once I had drilled all the holes, I glued the stake pockets in position, and I glued the AB valve to the underframe. I glued the underframe to the underside of the deck. The underframe is keyed, so you can't install it backward. When that assembly was dry, I glued the side sills to the corner between the deck and the underframe. Next, I glued the angle gussets between the inside of the sills and the deck assembly. Pay close attention here. The gusset pieces are not identical. Before you start gluing, carefully determine which gussets go where. It is entirely possible to install the center gussets with the long braces in the wrong position. If you do so, the center deck support will not align properly across the underside of the deck. Also note that some of the gusset plates have been trimmed so that the plate does not extend below the bottom of the side sill. With the gussets in place, I glued the end deck planks in position. Pay close attention here as well. There is a small but important notch in the surface of one of the end planks. This notch needs to face the B end, the brake wheel end of the car, as shown here. Next, I glued the end sills in position, and I glued the hand grabs and stirrup steps to the car body. I had to deepen the holes in the car sides to fully insert the hand grabs. Finally, I glued the brake staff support in place on the B end of the car. I primed the entire car using Tamiya light gray primer. Then I masked off the deck and painted the rest of the car black. Then I applied the decals. Once the decals had been sealed with dull coat, I installed the trucks and couplers. Unfortunately, the coupler pocket cover does not snap on tightly. The instructions advise securing the cover in place with glue, which I absolutely refused to do. So I drilled a small hole in the coupler pocket center pins and fastened the covers in place with M1 by 4 mm self-tapping screws. That way I'll be able to remove the cover later if I need to repair or replace the couplers. Then I installed brake staff and brake wheel. Option 4 consists of two different kits. One kit from Proto 2000, which is a 53-foot 6-inch flat car kit, and includes trucks with metal wheels on metal axles and Proto 2000 knuckle-style couplers. The second kit is this red caboose 42-foot flat car kit. You've seen me build one of these kits in my video building a flat car from a red caboose kit. Although these kits are not difficult to build, you will spend considerable effort collecting your fleet because both of these kits have been out of production for some time. Therefore, it will take some effort to locate and purchase enough kits to complete your flat car fleet. Also, these kits will almost certainly cost more than any of the previous options described. However, they both provide excellent detail, and if you're fortunate, you might find some kits already painted and lettered for your chosen railroad. By now you should have noticed a theme. If you're willing to accept cast-on details, you can build your fleet quite easily. If you want separately applied details, as I did, you will have to assemble your fleet from kits. Also, you will need to paint your cars in your desired color and apply your own decals. Whichever option you choose, I think you'll find that you can build a respectable fleet of flat cars without having to spend even close to $30 per car. My current plan is to continue this series with a discussion of boxcar strategies. But these videos take a lot of time and effort, So before I invest that time and effort, I'd like to hear from you. Please comment on this video or go to the Posts tab on my channel homepage and take the survey to express your preference. In the meantime, you'll find links in the video description to many of the products and tools I've mentioned. I love to read your comments and to respond to your questions. If you want to see more videos of this type, be sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.